What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to Crypto Empire, where we dominate the crypto market. This is another Sunday live stream. Yes, it is Monday in some parts of the world, but over in the US, it's actually still Monday here. It's still Sunday here. But anyways, guys, we got a lot to talk about. We had the weekly candle closes just come in. Is the dip over? Is this just a temporary bounce? Are we actually going to go up from here? We'll be discussing that in this stream and also taking a look at a lot of altcoin charts, going over the trade setups, going over the analysis so that you are aware and you can make the best informed decisions possible this week. Let's get into this live stream. Smash up the like button, guys, as we do get this started. And let's start off like we always do with our crypto market overview. Smash that like button, lads. Let's go. Let's get this started. So looking at the market right now, again, the weekly candle closes did just come in, and Bitcoin ended up closing the weekly over here. We had the close come in at 112K. So we left a nice long wick down to around 108. And I mean, really just today on Sunday, we rebounded back up here. So overall, I mean, it closed decent. It was looking really weak before this big bounce up that happened earlier. And now we're in a situation where it looks like we are going to get some positive moves to the upside. Looking at sentiment, the crypto fear and greed index, according to the fear and greed index here, we are at a 50. According to CoinMarketCap, we are at a 39. So some mixed signals. Overall, I think the CoinMarketCap fear and greed index is more representative of the current state of the market. Okay, I don't think we're actually at a 50. I think people are still scared. I'd say we're still around a 39 in fear. So the CoinMarketCap fear and greed index, I'm going to have to go with this one. Currently in fear. And I mean, looking at the altcoin season index, we're not an altcoin season, right? And that's pretty clear looking at the charts. There are some catalysts right now, such as the crypto spot ETF filings in October, which are going to be due. But other than that, I mean, we'll talk about it. Let's get right into these charts. Now, here is the crypto bubbles top 100 on the day. And yeah, I mean, we bounced nicely. We bounced nicely on Sunday. It was looking pretty bleak, but a lot of coins have started to recover. And I mean, let's not get too excited because a lot of these coins are down like 30% and they're up like 3% now. So it's that classic meme where it's like the chart's all the way down and you have that little bounce and the guy's going crazy, like, let's go. That's kind of the situation right now. So let's not get too big for our britches and take it step by step, level by level. And but in general, yeah, not a bad weekly candle close. Let's go take a look at the charts right now. So Bitcoin, again, we moved down last week into 108,600. And we have bounced right back up here into resistance, directly into a daily supply zone, coming in at 112K, and the high is 113K. There is also a beautiful 12-hour breaker block in here that price has just come into at 112K. So we're getting the reaction from all of this supply, all of this resistance. That is to be expected, all right? Daily supply, 12-hour breaker, bearish. I mean, you can't just slice through this. It's very likely that doesn't happen. So we're getting the anticipated reaction from this level of supply right now. Now with that, I think it's very important, if this is going to be a real recovery, that Bitcoin can start reclaiming some of these levels, right? It needs to reclaim this swing high at 114K and move back up here. And it really needs to close a daily candle above 117,500. So as of right now, the trend is, it's bearish locally, right? We have these lower highs. Ever since that all-time high in August, we have that all-time high, and then we broke structure over here. We made a lower low. Now we just made a lower high. So we're going to find out if we're actually going to make another lower high into another lower low, or if we can change the direction here on the local trend and actually go ahead and make a higher high here and break this downtrend that's forming. Because make no mistake, there is a downtrend forming right now, and it needs to change. It needs to change if we are going to see higher prices. in the coming weeks. So let's not sugarcoat things. We're still bearish even with this bounce today. We'll see the further reaction from this supply level. I wouldn't be too surprised if it does want to push higher, but at the same time, my expectations are not really that great. Now, looking at USDT dominance, again, this is still holding this 2 week. If we go to the 2 week time, the 2 week time frame here, we're in this kind of bear flag structure, and it's still holding, even with all the fear and the doom and gloom. This is still holding this bear flag structure. So the idea is that a bear flag is bearish and it will break down, which is bullish for the crypto market. As of right now, that thesis is still alive, but it's certainly waning. Why is that the case? Like, why is the thesis waning for this bear flag? Well, one is we did have a daily candle close above this previous swing high, a very important swing high at 4.6%. The weekly candle was saved, however. The weekly candle was saved today, and the weekly candle did actually close below the previous swing high. So, of course, the weekly will have more weight than the daily, but we're just kind of it's a mixed signal that we're having currently. Now, I'm still holding a lot of spot crypto. I did not sell everything. So I would really like to see this turn into a bear flag and break down. However, I am very aware that there are some signals that USDT dominance might want to continue to push higher back towards 5%, which would send the crypto market lower. That would send all altcoins lower. And look, guys, Bitcoin doesn't look horrible, but the thing is, altcoins look horrible, right? A lot of these altcoins look toast. Dogecoin, not bad. Dogecoin is one of the cryptos right now that is in contention for a spot ETF filing, and it's going to be eligible. I mean, it has been eligible, and there are some big deadlines coming up right now for the Dogecoin spot ETF. So that's a major catalyst. And Dogecoin, I mean, it really doesn't look too bad here. Right, it's kind of in this rising wedge structure. It's still holding this rising wedge. And, we'll see if it does want to make another push up here into 2-day supply, which is a major profit target. But in general, I see this being a cylinder that does result in some kind of really big bullish snap up. If this thing breaks down, then we'll just be in a larger range at play. But I mean, hey, Dogecoin is one of those coins I'm holding spot. I have a big position in it because I really do see it trading at a minimum 40 to 50 cents, if not $1 next year, and fulfilling that Elon Musk prophecy. But a lot of these other coins, like AI coins, for example, they look really bearish. And I've been going over how these AI coins do look pretty bearish. We just got a super chat as well, by the way. Shout out to Ricky Romero. My man Ricky with the $1.99 super chat. Appreciate that super chat, my man. He says, is it a good time to dollar cost average on KETA, or can it go lower? That's a good question. We'll look at Tau right after we look at KTA, KETA. So can KETA go lower? Here's the daily time frame chart for KETA KTA. This is the spot Blofin chart. And let's go take a look on the 5-day, because this is a 5-day level of demand here. So right now, it's definitely a good time to DCA into KETA KTA. Why is that? You're in a 5-day level of demand, a fresh one at that. Okay, it was partially taken before in July. But yeah, this is a decent spot to DCA into KETA KTA. Now, I think that for the best risk reward possible, you want to look for around 50 cents. It has already dropped to 54 cents, this week. But if you do see key to KTA go and sweep these lows at like 50, 51 cents, that would give you the best risk reward entry possible, right? That's like an asymmetric opportunity. Kita is a very bullish project, right? It does have some competition out there with new projects like Plasma XPL, another new payment chain. But, Kita is definitely one that you shouldn't ignore too much. I think Kita is bullish, and it's currently in a 5-day demand zone. But if it does give you another 50 cent or below 50 cent entry, that would be a time to really go heavy and increase your dollar cost average and really average into it heavier. But right now, yes, in your 5-day demand zone that you're in, it's not a bad spot to DCA, but it can certainly go lower. All right, so we don't know where the bottom will be. Nobody knows that. Of course, we'll know in hindsight. But as of right now, we just discussed how USDT dominance might want to push higher with it closing a daily candle above this previous swing high. Yes, the weekly was closed below it. But if this thing does want to push up here to say this fresh daily supply zone at 5%, you'll probably see Kita, KTA, and a lot of other altcoins a bit lower. So it's not a bad time at all to dollar cost average into your favorite projects. They're all at decent prices, where when we do get an actual sustained run in altcoins, whether that's later this year or next year in 2026, buying at these prices will likely result in good gains for you. But that doesn't mean we're at the bottom right now. It's important to understand that. And while we're looking at USDT dominance here, so we do have a fresh level of daily demand that we haven't reached just yet. This is coming in at 4.53%. Now, I was looking for this to hit at the same time Bitcoin would hit this supply level. And that would have been great confluence for a short. But Bitcoin went ahead and hit the supply level while USDT dominance didn't actually come into this demand. So I didn't take that short on Bitcoin. But that was something I was looking for. And I'm still looking for the market's reaction when USDT dominance does come into this daily demand zone. All right. Because this might just be a temporary bounce. And when this does hit demand, it might want to go back up, causing altcoins to go lower. That's something to look out for as we do start this week. And that might send some altcoins back down to the lows of last week to make the fresh Monday range, and we can trade off of that Monday range this week. We'll see, guys. That's why I'm going to be updating you. You have to be subscribed to the channel. If you're not subscribed, guys, hit the subscribe button right now. I'll be updating you on my plans to trade for this week. Right now it is Sunday night or Monday morning, depending on where you are in the world. And I always like to wait for the fresh Monday range to form. Okay, you guys see me all the time with the Spaceman BTC key level indicator. It's a free indicator, and it just shows me the Monday high and the Monday low. And I love to trade off of this Monday range. So now that the Monday candle has just started, I'm going to wait for that Monday candle to finish forming to plan my trades further this week. But if we do have a situation where USDT dominance comes down into this daily demand zone, well, that's going to send some coins, first of all, higher. And then if we get a reaction, it will send them lower. And that will give us our Monday range to trade off for this week. Just something I'm looking out for right now. Also, when it comes to some other major time frame charts or some major charts, there is the total crypto market cap. So this would have been good confluence for that Bitcoin short we were discussing in supply. Because the same exact level that Bitcoin has, the total crypto market cap had the 1-day supply zone too. And you can see it came right into it. Now it's giving a negative reaction. That's what you expect from a big, fresh daily supply zone. This also is testing, right? We had the trend line. We had this trend line here. This move up on this Sunday resulted in a back test, a retest of this trend line breakdown. So the bulls really have some big work to do right now, right? The bulls need to save this trend line and regain it quickly. And that's a large task. That's not an easy feat. I mean, as of right now, you're coming into supply and retesting a breakdown. So this is bearish, and it's likely, probability-wise, will continue lower. With that being said, the weekly candle does look a bit different. You know, the weekly candle over here closed above the trend line. We have like mixed signals. The daily time frame charts look cooked, while the weeklies look okay. A lot of mixed signals out there. So we'll see how we do open up this week. But, I mean, let's not ignore the obvious signs that there's a lot of reasons to tread cautiously right now in the market. Don't ignore the obvious signs. And here we are. We have a Sunday. Was this just a weekend scam pump? Right? Was this just a Sunday weekend scam pump here into a Monday fake out? It could be, with prices moving right into a daily supply zone. Stay frosty. Okay, everyone likes to get excited when we pump on Sunday right into supply. But that's a good recipe for a perfect trap by the market makers. I mean, here's the total market cap, or the total 2, which is the market cap excluding BTC. And same thing, right? You have a fresh level of supply over here. Right, this was a drop-based drop supply zone. So we can put 1 day supply. And you can see the total 2 came right into supply and it's reacting. So was this just a Sunday scam pump into some lower moves this week? Because here's the thing, guys. The total 2 actually didn't hit my key level on the drop this week. Right, my key level was this 6-day demand into this 12-hour hidden order block over here at 1.47 trillion. The total 2 actually, it came into this 1-day level of demand, right? This at 1.5 trillion. But my main level, like the biggest level, the most relevant level, is still 1.47 trillion, and that still hasn't been taken. If this gets taken, this is where I was really looking last week. It was never given, right? It was front ran. But if we do see 1.47 trillion, that is a huge level to buy things and to look for longs, which is why I just said before when what's his name? When Ricky Romero asked me about Kita, you know, it can certainly go to around 50 cents. And if we did see the total 2 into this 1.47 trillion level, we likely would see coins like that at 50 cents and other coins lower. Anyways, we were going to look at Tau, so let's go look at Tau and other AI coins. And I'll go over why this doesn't look strong by any means. Right? Bitcoin looks okay. Ethereum looks okay. But these AI coins, like, they don't really look too great. And I hold spot Tau. Here's the situation. We have this $300 support level. All right. Now this $300 support level has been tested multiple times since June. Right? June it got tested. September it got tested. And over here again in September it got tested. Now the issue I have is each time this support level or this demand zone got tested, it produced a lower high, a lower high, a lower high, which just tells us that this $300 demand or support is just getting weaker and weaker and weaker. So there needs to just be some crazy capital injection, right into the veins of AI coins to save a chart like this. And it can happen, okay? The crypto market works like that. OpenAI just got like a $100 billion investment. The total AI sector of the crypto market is what, like 40 billion right now? If we go to the AI sector over here, I guess we have to pull up CoinGecko. If we go to the AI category, $30 billion. 30.5 billion is the AI category in crypto. OpenAI literally just got like a $100 billion investment. Another one on top of all of the hundreds of billions of funding they've already received. Right? So there's a lot of money in AI, but there's not a lot of money in crypto AI. So there is going to come a point when it just gets a crazy capital injection And maybe that will save charts like Tau, but I'm not sure it's going to be like right now, which tells me that it might be wise to plan for a move where Tau would move into, say, higher time frame demand, which is going to come in at around like $225, right? Because again, this support level just continues to get weaker and weaker and weaker. I think eventually it will give, meaning you'll get a better entry on these coins. I'm very bullish on AI crypto. I think there's going to be a massive bubble for AI crypto, similar, even bigger actually, to what we had in like March 2024. It's going to happen sometime either in 2026 or, I mean, maybe it gets pushed out all the way until 2027. I don't know when it will be, but I just know that this 30.5 billion number will change to 500 billion to 1 trillion. Yes, you heard that correctly. The sector is going to like at least 15x, the AI sector in crypto. I don't know when it's going to be, but this 30.5 billion is a joke, especially when you see OpenAI getting funding of 100 billion handed to them like it's nothing. So you just have to be patient. You have to have your thesis in check. I just shared with you my thesis on AI cryptos, but looking at the charts here in the immediate reality we're in, like right now, they look cooked. Lower high, support. It looks like it's ready to just break down into like the low 200s. Render is the same thing. Right? You had the support level, lower high, lower high, lower high. Right over here, it looks like it was going to break this trend and finally go on a run. Nope. Rejection again into the same level of support. Right? This support is at 325 on render. So yeah, every time it comes into it, it gets weaker and it's just producing lower high after lower high. So I don't know, maybe this thing needs to come back down to the lows at like 250. I mean, that would be pretty crazy. Like, that would be pretty nuts if that were to happen. But yeah, I mean, the charts, these altcoin charts are cooked. They're just lower highs into the same support. How many times can these supports hold? Everyone who knows any basic technical analysis has heard the phrase a million times because it's true. The more a support level gets tested, the weaker it does get. Or the more a resistance level gets tested, the weaker it does get. Well, right now we have lower highs into the same support, and the support keeps on getting tested, meaning it keeps on getting weaker. So that's just the reality. Let's face reality. Right? We can try and fight reality all we want and say, no, it's going to break out. It's bullish. It can, because the market is always probabilities. But the reality is it's weak. So don't be shocked if it does want to come lower below $3. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, guys. Smash the like button if you want this real, unfiltered, live technical analysis on your favorite AI crypto coins, as well as every other coin in the market that we can go over. Let me take a look at the chat over here and see what's going on. First of all, shout out to Furbo Carpo. My man Furbo, what is up? Great to see you. Let me go to my hot stuff watch list over here. Take a look at Aster in a second. Shout out to Mark of Melbourne. What's up, Mark? We got Rogue Nation. What's up, Rogue? BZ Films. We got Rosie. Hit the like, indeed. Good to see you, Rosie. Guys, 87 viewers, 31 likes. Let's smash that like button up. Shout out to Not Sure. Ricky Romero, thanks for that super chat earlier. Not Sure says that tomorrow is historically the worst trading day of the year. Potentially. And Not Sure says sell on Rosh Hashanah, buy on Yom Kippur. Yeah, that's a phrase. Those holidays. And I believe tomorrow is the Yom Kippur holiday. And that is it's a seasonal trend in the market, where technically the market usually crashes on the first one and then pumps on the second one. So if those seasonal trends play out again, maybe we pump. But I mean, who knows? Those trends don't always have to play out. JD Ferguson says, I am accumulating Avantis. We'll look at Avantis in a moment. Kita had terrible news. Well, Kita also just launched their mainnet. So, of course, that was a sell the news event. Of course it was, right? Neon says, look at the gold Bitcoin analysis. Well, I have the ETH silver chart here, right? The ETH silver chart is pretty telling. And essentially, whenever ETH reaches this red box versus silver, it's a top. And recently, when ETH ran up to basically $5,000, it hit this box, this red resistance box against silver, and that was the top. So this is a very reliable indicator. I do agree with you, Neon, right? Also, the gold Bitcoin chart, it's another really good ratio. I believe the market makers actually use these kind of uncommon and lesser known pairs, such as Ethereum versus silver, to create the tops and bottoms. I do think that is the case. And whenever Ethereum versus silver comes into this green box down here, it always results in the bottom, like time after time, over and over and over again. So I certainly agree with you, Neon. There is definitely some juice there. There's some sauce. If you're looking at these off pairs, not many people know about this type of stuff. I think that the market makers actually use these, and they're very reliable for calling tops and bottoms in the crypto market. Shout out to Owl of Minerva. Good to have you here, Owl. First time in the chat. Hope you're enjoying the stream so far. Smash up the like button if you are. Guys, we just zoomed up to 345 viewers. What is up, everyone? If you're new here to Crypto Empire, make sure you smash that subscribe button and turn on all bell notifications so you don't miss any future videos. Appreciate all the new viewers here on the channel. Again, hit that subscribe button. Stick around. Stay a while. Also, hit the like button. Clop Zone says, is perp DEX season, is it going to continue, or will it just be a dip like AI agents? So you have to understand, the perp DEX narrative right now with coins like Aster, Avantis, Apex, right? Apex, which is Bybit's perp DEX, it just went parabolic from 20 cents up to $2.50. It's a manufactured narrative. CZ of Binance, right? He understands that Hyperliquid and the Hype token, they were taking all of the market share of perp DEX trading, right? They were taking market share away from the Binance exchange itself. So CZ, being a money man, he didn't like this. So what did he do? He manufactured a perp DEX season to fragment the liquidity and make sure that Hyperliquid was not going to be a monopoly, and because everyone was trading on Hyperliquid. CZ was losing money because of this. So he made this narrative of the perp DEX season. Is it going to be a temporary narrative? More likely than not, yes. Everything in crypto is a temporary narrative. Look at AI coins. Look at meme coins. They all eventually fizzle out and they die down. Okay, so make no mistake, these perp DEX coins are going to be no different. They will eventually sizzle out or fizzle out. But right now they're hot. All right? So we want to trade the hot assets. We want to trade the assets that have the money flow going into them. So Aster is one of those. Now Aster right now is in this descending channel, and on the larger time frames, to me this is just like a big bull flag, a big consolidation structure. So while I think it is possible that we can see Aster break out of this flag and push to new all-time highs, I wouldn't be shocked to see it shake some more people out and just stop out more people that are trying to long this before eventually going up. So what am I planning for on Aster? Personally, I wouldn't be too surprised to see it reject off of resistance around $2 again and then make its way to the bottom of the channel. And I would be looking to buy the bottom of the channel over here. All right, so what I recommend you guys do, if you're also trading Aster, put this channel on your chart. And it's a very tight invalidation if you do want to look to short this. I'm not really looking to short. I'm looking to buy this if it comes down to the bottom of the channel, because I think that would give you the entry before a new all-time high. So that's how I'm personally looking to trade Aster right now. And that's going to come in around, we'll see where it does come in, but like $1.40 or so. If it wants to come to the bottom of the channel, that's where you want to buy it for a new all-time high. And that one trade, right? If you size up on that one trade, is a very valid trade idea. You know, you can really make a lot of money if it works out. And I think it's a pretty high probability trade setup. So that's what I would be looking for on Aster. if it does give that. Now, the other perp dexes like Avantis are also pulling back. This is why it's so important not to FOMO into these hot coins, right? Everyone thinks that they just go up forever, but nothing goes up forever. You always will have the pullback, which is why I don't recommend buying into these parabolic rallies. For example, yesterday I made a video on Plasma XPL, right? If you guys haven't watched that Plasma video, I recommend you do. It's only 10 minutes long. Watch it after this live stream. But I basically said, you know, it just broke this trend line. Let's look to buy the pullback. And it's giving you that dip. Same thing on Avantis, right? It lost its bullish structure. Now, where do I think Avantis is going to go? Where do I think we'll give the best high probability entry? I shared this in a video earlier in the week, but to me, that's at $1.20. Why? Well, you have this previous swing high, this opposite pole over here at 121. And I personally think that, I mean, I've been trading for a long time in crypto, and I've noticed how these opposite poles, I'm looking right here, this is just a previous swing high, these usually do get tagged. And they oftentimes do lead to big market reversals. Yeah, this is crazy. I think there's some kind of bot attack. 1,000. I'm not sure what's going on. If I actually have 1,000 people or 1,200 people watching, maybe it's possible. Maybe it's possible. I've never had this many people in a live stream before, ever. If that's the case and you're all real people, make sure you hit the subscribe button, guys. Smash the subscribe. This is nuts. I've never had 1,293 people watching me. I mean, do I think I'm worthy? I think I should have 100,000 real people watching me live every single stream. It's just that I understand I need to climb the ladder one rung at a time. So if you guys are real, if I really have 1,300 people watching, hit the subscribe button. Stick around. I'm not sure what's going on, but I appreciate it, and we're here for it. It's pretty nuts. We might have some real viewers. Guys, hit that subscribe button. Let's go. So anyways, Avantis, it's in a very clear downtrend, right? It keeps on making these lower lows. It keeps on breaking these trend lines. Where do I think the reversal will come in? Again, around $1.20. I would be looking to buy Avantis $1.20 to $1. This is your buy zone. And then from there, I would expect a decent bounce, at least back up to around 180. Which, I mean, if you catch it at like $1 back up to 180, that's an 80% move. Everyone wants the crazy 10x, 20x. Of course, we all want that. But understand, those require an overall very bullish market, and we're not in a very overall bullish market right now. So let's take the trades that we can get, and let's compound our portfolios, and not just try and hit a home run out of the park. If you read any book on trading, any successful trader will tell you, consistently hit the doubles and singles rather than swinging for the fences and going for the home run every single time. All right, so Avantis, again, $1.20 is where I'm personally looking for an entry here. At least trying to ride that up back to like 180. And of course, I'll keep a moon bag in case this thing does go to new all-time highs. Now, Apex, again, is Bybit's perp dex. Everyone, hit that like button. Hit the like button, everyone. Yeah, so Apex is Bybit's perpetual decentralized trading exchange. And, I mean, what was it? Tuesday of last week. So, I mean, 5 days ago, this thing was trading at 24 cents. Now it's at $2.44. I mean, big move, right? 900% or a 10x. But yeah, 10x in value. 900% delta. Should you buy this coin now? Probably not, right? When a chart looks like that, that's very risky to buy this thing after a move like this. Excuse me, by the way. It also is giving you the pullback, right? So it broke trend. Broke trend there. I wouldn't be shocked if it did want to break trend again here. This is basically just a range. So what I would say is wait for the range lows to come in. All right? Wait for the range lows to come in. And look for a sweep of like 159 down here. Right? And you can look to, if you're looking to get into Apex, I would wait. I would not be buying up here at 244. That is very risky when a chart is parabolic like this. So stay frosty and look for the better entry, which I think again is around 159, and the yearly opens at 150. So there's no rush right now when it comes to these coins. All the perp DEX coins, they still look like they're correcting. Again, Aster, for anyone just joining in now, Aster is in this larger time frame parallel channel, and I think the best entry will come if it comes to the bottom of the channel, where we can get an entry hopefully to new all-time highs. Right, the next target is going to be $3.25 up here. So if we can get this thing at like 140, 150, we can go in with some size and we can make some nice gains on a nice trade like that. So that's something that I am looking out for. Guys, comment 1 if you're a real viewer. Shout out to Scorch888. Smash that like button. We have 1,000 people. If you're real, smash the like button and put 1 in the chat, or put a W in the chat. Shout out to Elon. Shout out to Big Wave Dave. My man Big Wave, what's going on? And yeah, let's go look at stable. So the stablecoin narrative, it's a hot narrative, right? I see some people talking about stablecoins in the live chat saying that everyone will have a stablecoin, even McDonald's. And yeah, so I mean, what are stablecoins? Well, yes, they're $1, but really they're the Trojan horse for central bank digital currencies, for CBDCs, right? Like the powers that be understand that nobody likes the word CBDC because it's like anti-freedom or whatever. So what have they done? They've just tweaked it a little bit to say stablecoins, digital dollar. This way it's like everyone's like, oh yeah, that's fine. We'll go along with that. It's perfectly cool. But don't be so naive. But with that being said, a lot of money is going into stablecoin infrastructure. That's why coins like XPL Plasma are so hot right now, right? This is the new stablecoin chain. But another big new project when it comes to stablecoins is STBL Stable. And this one's it's a few weeks old now, or around a little over 1 week old. And here's the 4 hour. It's really just creating this trading range. And let's put the range up on the chart. Okay, so here's our range that I'm seeing. We have our range lows up here at 32. We have our range highs at 55. So we're in the middle of the range. A personal rule of thumb, and again, like if you go read any trading book, if you listen to any interview by any successful trader, most of them will say that you never want to buy in the middle of the range. And that's very true. I follow the same principle. Okay, we always want to play the extremes of the range. So if you're looking to buy STBL, I would say wait for the range low to come into play around 33 cents. That would give you the best risk reward entry. If you buy here and it ends up coming to the range low, Well, you could be sitting through a drawdown of 30%. If you put 10 grand in and it comes down here, you're going to be down 3 grand. That's not fun. Trading requires patience. Investing requires patience. I understand everybody wants to get rich immediately. Everybody wants to gamble and hit the jackpot. But statistically speaking, 99% of people go broke that gamble. They lose everything. All right? So you have to be smart, which is why I'm saying if you want to buy a coin like this, wait for the range low to come into play. Okay? And then you have a very easy and clear invalidation. Right? If it was to start closing daily time frame candles underneath the low over here, you can cut your trade and you'll have like a minimal loss if you're wrong. But if you're right, you're looking at upside. You're looking at upside here of at least a 2x, if not much, much more. So yeah, it's all about strategy, guys. It's all about having a plan and not FOMOing at bad times. Like bad times to enter. I'd say right now in the middle of the range is not optimal at all to FOMO into a coin like this. So yeah, wait for the range extremes to come into play. We got some W's in the chat. Guys, smash the like button. Let's go. I appreciate all the support. If you're new here to Crypto Empire, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, guys. Stick around, stay a while. We bring you the best technical analysis on YouTube on a consistent basis. Hit the subscribe button and hit that like button for the live stream. Let's go, lads. Shout out to OB1. My man OB1 says, thanks for going live, brother. You already know, my man. Appreciate you being here. Vincent P says, Connor, either YouTube algorithm is broken or you became a victim of your expertise. Well, here's the thing. I've been doing this for 4.5 years. So it was only a matter of time. I don't want to sound too cocky or anything. We got to stay humble. So maybe I shouldn't say this. But it was only a matter of time before your boy blew up. Maybe we're witnessing in real time the real rise of Crypto Empire. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if this is real or if it's a bot attack. If it is real, I'll just say it was a long time coming and we're only going up from here. We're in an up-only vortex and we're going straight to the top. So either join me or don't. If you want to join me, join the winning team, hit the subscribe button. But again, we are going straight to the top, lads. Let's go take a look at some other coins. Smash that like button, everyone. I see some people asking about Brett. So here's the thing. A coin like Brett, there's no narrative for something like Brett. Somebody asked me before about the stablecoin narrative or the perp DEX narrative. Is it temporary like AI agents or will it fizzle out? Every narrative will eventually fizzle out. Brett was the hottest thing since sliced bread in 2024. Now, nobody cares about Brett. So that's the worrying thing right now. Right? The chart is just very choppy. There's not a lot of liquidity. And it's back down here to this support level at like 4 cents. And similar to a lot of other charts we've looked at today when it comes to altcoins, like it just keeps on, it just closed the daily candle below this previous low. It looks weak. So where's the real demand for Brett? It's at like 3 cents down here, which is another like 25-30% haircut from the current price. I mean, I wouldn't be too surprised to see this thing come to like 3 cents to 2.5 cents. Again, we were just talking about trading the extremes. Well, if this is just one big range, where's the range low? The range low is going to be down here. So it might be enticing to buy here after this big dip. And if you dollar cost average, I wouldn't buy Brett personally. I'm not bullish on Brett. I mean, I think that crash is a brilliant hopes and dreams seller. He's great at convincing people that this is the best coin ever. But I personally don't buy it. That's just me. Maybe you do think Brett's the greatest altcoin ever. I just don't. But if I was to buy it, I would at least wait for the higher time frame demand, which is below 3 cents. Key to entry. We already took a look at KTA. And I think the best entry is going to be if it comes down to, say, 50 cents. Even though right now is not a bad time to enter at all, especially if you have a longer term time frame to hold this coin. But the best entry possible will be like 50 cents. A sweep of those lows down there. Let's go take a look at Plasma XPL, do an update on our analysis. Again, we just put out a video on Plasma XPL around 12 hours ago. If you guys haven't watched it, be sure to watch it after this live stream, and also hit the subscribe button here on Crypto Empire if you are new here. But Plasma is a very new hot coin. And the analysis I shared with you in this video is still the analysis that I am sticking with. I still am personally looking for Plasma XPL to come down back into this structure over here, back into support. There's still the 1-day level of demand. Right, a very obvious demand zone right here. So this is still sticking out like a sore thumb at $1.25. Which means I'm still personally looking for Plasma XPL to continue this lower trend, or this downtrend that it's in right now. It just put in this scam wick, right? It put in this pump. It was sold into pretty heavily. And I would be in no rush. Okay, I do think that this support level is not going to hold at 135. And I would be looking for around 125 to start buying Plasma XPL if you do want to buy it. Like I said in the video, the real buy zone is from like 125 to 110. So this is your overall buy level to wait for on XPL. And the idea is we see a nice move, at least back up to the highs. Of course, we want to pair all of this with USDT dominance. Okay, so if dominance, we'll see how it goes. But if this wants to come up a bit, it would likely give those entries that we've been sharing, right? That would put XPL at like 125. It would put Avantis at like 120. It would put Aster at like 140. All of the trade setups we've gone over in this live stream. And then if we moved into this daily demand zone, we would get the pump on those coins and be able to make some really, really nice profits here in a pretty short amount of time. All right, these are trades we're looking at. When it comes to crypto investments, yes, I have my spot bags. I'm not talking about that right now. I'm talking about trades here in the immediate short term. It's important to differentiate that so that everyone understands exactly what I'm talking about, right? Let's get some more W's in the chat. I want to see 1,238 W's. We have 1,238 live viewers right now, guys. Smash up the like button. Only 350 likes. I'm not sure what's going on there. Smash up the like button. I want to know if you guys are real viewers or if this is an actual bot attack. Because I've literally never had this many people in a live stream before. But hey, man, I'm 100% worthy of it. So I wouldn't be surprised if you guys are all real people out there. Shout out to Dorian with the W. Appreciate that. Obi-Wan with the W. Yes, sir. We got the W's rolling in. Appreciate you guys. Let me go take a look at some of these other hot coins. So, I mean, is it even worth... So, Binance Labs, right? CZ controls this market. Let's be real for a second. So Binance Labs is now called YZI Labs. And YZI Labs has invested in so many projects that have just launched over the past few weeks. Right? Bless is one of them. Like all the new coins that just launched and went on these crazy runs. Thanks for all the W's in the chat, everyone. But all the new coins that just launched and went on these crazy runs, they are all backed by CZ and YZI Labs. Now, these guys have one job only, and that's to extract as much money as possible. So what do? They pump it out of the gate. And when retail goes and FOMOs into it, they smash it down. So you have to be very careful with all of these new coins, right? They are all heavily manipulated by the market makers and by big VC firms like YZI Labs. So I mean, Bless is one, ZeroG, Zero Gravity, which is a new AI project. That was at Korea Blockchain Week, another one. ZeroG, Zero Gravity it's in my buy zone right now at 350, or at least it was in it earlier. And it's kind of just bouncing. I mean, we'll see if this could be a bottom forming, potentially. But if we zoom out, I'd say that there's a lot of liquidity, just a bit lower, too. Which is why you shouldn't be in a hurry if you do want to buy something like this. This is ZeroG, Zero Gravity. It's a new AI project. Again, Binance Labs is backing it, or YZI Labs. So you got to understand that their job is to take as much money as possible from the market. But being that this is a new AI coin, I wouldn't be too surprised to see it actually kind of stick around and do something over the longer term. So maybe this is a decent entry, and maybe this is the bottom forming at 350. There's also a nice level at the previous week low at like 285 coming in for YZI Labs. And I think if it did give you this dip, it can be a nice PO3 where you basically have, if you don't know what a PO3 is, it's where you have a manipulated sell-off and it immediately reclaims the lost level of support before pumping a lot. Some people are even claiming that currently Ethereum is in a PO3. Right, which might be the case. Right, some people are claiming that this is just a manipulated sell-off on Ethereum. Right? We have this support level, this range. Price loses the range and it quickly reclaims it and then pumps up. Meaning that this move was all just manipulation. It's possible that this is the case. It's something to potentially watch for. And we'll really know that if Ethereum starts to reclaim these lost levels of support. One of them is at $4,200, this previous swing low, right? But there's still a lot of work to do for Ethereum. It never did hit my 3-day level, right? The 3-day coming in at $3,786. But what is interesting, and I shared this before, I think on a live stream, is if you look at, say, the Ethereum, not versus the US dollar, but versus the euro. So ETH versus the EUR. It actually did hit the 3-day level. And again, the market makers know that everyone's waiting for the one to hit on the US dollar pair. So oftentimes they will use the off currency like the euro to mark a bottom. That is something to consider right now. Right? ETH hit on the euro, it did not hit on the dollar. So a lot of mixed signals. In general, this is a huge week for the market. There's a lot of spot ETF filings that are due, and that could be a big catalyst, right? Dogecoin, Solana, XRP. A lot of news right now with an XRP ETF. All these big coins have AVAX, another one. All these big Dino coins have their ETF filings. And maybe that will be a catalyst to propel some things higher. We'll see. Who knows? Who knows? Now Solana, so on this dip last week, it actually perfectly came into this 23-hour hidden order block, hidden behind 1, 2, 3 fair value gaps, and giving a really nice bounce here. All right, a 10% move, 10% bounce. So nice move on Sol, but when we zoom out and look at the bigger picture, it lost the bullish trend. It broke this trend line. You also have an opposite pole at $230 on Sol. So while it's very exciting that this is up 10%, it might continue to pump up, but there is major resistance at $230. So be aware of that. This is going to be a good short opportunity, I think, on Sol, because I wouldn't be too surprised if it did reject off of 230 and then come down and hit the daily 200 EMA in demand at like 180. So, I mean, it just shows you the power of these hidden order block levels, right? If you just wait for them to come, you get great trade setups over and over and over again, but they require patience. But when they come, you know, you can strike then. And this is how you're going to consistently be able to profit as a trader. Remember, over 90% of traders lose money. Why? Because they succumb to their emotions. They get scared or they get greedy when they think something is going to pump. That turns out to be the top. They sell the bottom, they buy the top. They do the opposite of what you should do. But when you have an actual strategy and a repeatable edge, a system, like just identifying these hidden order block levels, identifying supply and demand, and only taking your trades when they come into those levels, you'll actually be able to win in the long term. It's not sexy, it's boring, but it's what actually allows you to win. So keep that in mind if you are not having a successful trading career. Maybe it's all in your head. Maybe you're the reason of why you keep on losing, because you keep on succumbing to your emotions. Once you can actually conquer those emotions, you'll be able to actually win. Anyway, Solana, look for a move up to 230. That's a short. That is a short. Texas Kryptonite, what is up? Do I have a team on CZ's new DEX? Yes, I do have a team on CZ's new DEX. Right? If you go to this live stream here, new DEX, and you go to the I do have a team on CZ. If you go to the live stream, you'll see this link. Start trading crypto on Aster. This is how to join my team. All right? I also go over this. If you're new and you haven't watched the Aster airdrop video, I also go over how to join the team and how to trade on Aster to earn the airdrop in this video from just over the weekend, just a few days ago. So go and watch that video if you haven't, and you can join my team using the link down in the description below. Looks like I just lost 1,000 viewers. Were they real? Were they fake? I don't know. I think the chances of them being real viewers are kind of low. But if they were real, I mean, hopefully some of them hit the subscribe button and they stick around here, right? Because this is Crypto Empire. This is where we dominate the crypto market. And like I said, we are in an up-only spiral going straight to the top. But yeah, that was crazy. I've never had that many people in a live stream ever. But that's it, lads. That's it. I guess sometimes when you just keep on chipping away at the old marble block, eventually you get rewarded for it with 1,300 people in your live stream. I mean, at least that's what I'll believe. That's what I'll believe, right? Anyways, here's Sui. And Sui is holding on to this bullish trend. It's holding on for dear life, actually. Now, there is a really big daily time frame hidden order block at $3 exactly. There is the quarterly open down here around 280. I think Sui under $3. It's a very juicy buy if it wants to come here. Maybe this was it though. Maybe the move to this trend line was it. It's really hard to say. It's hard to tell. That's why I think it's wise to just hold spot. Because here's the thing. I'm bullish on a coin like Sui. I think Sui is still going to like bare minimum $6. Which is why it's kind of smart to just have a position. And if it does drop lower, you can just add more to your position and lower your average cost. Because what if this was the bottom? I mean, the market kind of looks cooked for now, so there's a chance it does drop lower. But if this was the bottom and it goes straight to $6, you'll be happy you have exposure. Now, if it did drop to like $3 to 280, you can look to increase your exposure and lower your average entry. Because this thing is it's going to be one of the better performing altcoins. If we just look at the extensions, right, the 0.27 is at 635. This is going to get hit. This is going to get ran. There's also these extensions at 10 to 11, which I think are probably going to get ran next year, 2026. But yeah, I mean, it requires patience here, guys. I know over, like, my thesis will play out. It's just a matter of when that happens. But Sui is a very bullish coin. I still think it's free money down here at like 320, 328. And if it did drop below $3, you get an even better entry. But eventually this thing will snap out of this consolidation and it will put in a crazy run. And I'll go and collect my clout then. But it's just a matter of when, and don't expect that to happen tomorrow, next week, even not even next month. It could take us some time to play out, which is why you can't be in crypto right now for just quick, short-term, get rich overnight. If that's the case, go to your local casino and hit the blackjack table, right? Because that's gambling. I don't like to gamble. We don't promote gambling here at Crypto Empire, right? We promote sustainable strategies to win over the long term, using risk management. Obviously, it's not financial advice, but I mean, that goes without saying. But that's how we do things here, guys. That's how we do things here. Hope you guys did enjoy our live stream today. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up right now, all right? So if you're new and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for all being here, and I'll see you all very soon, right? As you can see, we are pumping out videos, and that's not gonna stop. I appreciate all of your support. If you guys want to join the private group, you can go ahead down below and apply to the Crypto Empire Mastermind using the first link down in the video description. But that's all from me today. Thanks for all of your support. And hey, maybe we broke some records on the live stream today at 1,300 viewers. Maybe not. I really don't know. It was very suspicious. It looked like some kind of bot attack or something, but I don't know. But I'll tell myself those were real people, but I also understand reality, and there's a pretty decent chance that it wasn't. But anyways, thank you guys. See you in the next video. Connor from Crypto Empire, signing out.